What's going on? Strat Soldier here for the weekend shift. What's up? What's up? Sorry about that. We're having a great time on the coaching session that happens 30 minutes before this, and that was Justin Davis had a really good question. Really good question. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Thank you for waiting, Ryan. Thank you for waiting, Brent. This is live. Let's see here. Pin this message. Before we get too far into it, go to thestratsoldier.com. I just posted a new date for a new one-on-one session, and I do those bi-weekly. All right, so that's 2 times a week. That's 2 times a month. People that don't know what bi-weekly means. That's 2 times a month. Go check it out. This is Justin Davis. He was just in the coaching session. He was in the April Strat Camp webinar, and he has been doing fantastic since then. He already knew how to create winning positions. He just needed help on tightening up those stops, and he's doing fantastic. We just got done talking about him doing 1-minute trades. The other coffee cup's dirty, all right? I know you guys are like, what the heck is that? The other coffee cup is dirty. So, I am working on getting these. I want, I know you guys want these, so I'm working on getting those for you guys. I'm working out a plan, all right? But Justin Davis taking some really good percentage on a trade here in May, and he's doing some other good stuff. Go to the Strat Camp. I see Bien Cruz out there. How you doing? Bien Cruz was also in my Strat Camp webinar last year, and she's doing fantastic. Now, Bien and everybody else who's ever gotten an ebook, who's ever been to a webinar, who's ever gotten a course, whatever, you have access to the Strat Camp community, and that is on the website, all right, thestratsoldier.com. I'm not sending you to a Discord. I'm not sending you to some other random area, all right? It's right there. So while you're looking at your course and you're going through it and you're like, this does not make sense, you can go straight into the Strat Camp community and then ask your questions. Hey, it says right here in the execution course that, this and that. What's going on? I don't understand that. And it's right there on the site. I'm not sending you to some other weird Discord thing, all right? Right there, all in the same place. So Justin Davis doing great things. So get in there, ask your questions, and if your questions are if I'm starting to see the same questions, or it's a really good question, it might get recorded. Oh my gosh, Sand Dollar already starting he's already starting. Thank you, Sand Dollar. Sand Dollar with the super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Sand Dollar. I appreciate it. What do you want to talk about? Sand Dollar's been doing some great things in Tesla as well. Really good trades. Go check that out. I posted those. He posted them on Twitter, so I took those, put them in the Strat Camp general chat. Go check that out. He's been doing some really good trades. J-Mac, what is going on? Sand Dollar, dirty cups rock. I know, but it's really dirty. It's really, really dirty. I ain't trying to get sick with, dedicated. I love dedication, but that's too much. That's so funny. Happy weekend. Mr. Luciano is in the house. Ryan is in the house. Bien Cruz doing great. Sand Dollar, J Mac, what is going on? And Patricia Bacon, Miss Bacon. Hey, Miss Bacon. That's funny, boy. We couldn't be co-workers. You be talking to the manager. You get this boy away from me. Hey, he don't say my name right. He ain't saying it bad, but he ain't saying it right. Hey, Miss Bacon, how you gonna be mad at somebody named Bacon? That's crazy. SPX options are wild right now. Yes, we're going to be talking about what's been happening in the world and what's been happening in the charts, because JJ was calling for this thing to go to the lows on Friday. He thought this thing was going to get wrecked, and there was no indication that it was not. And now we have a shooter on the week on SPY. SPX options going wild. CRCL, a new one for me. Okay, we'll talk about that one first. Mr. Luciano says, stuck at work fixing an AC and boilers in the rain. Fun day. Well, at least you're doing something. I think that's cool. You can say what you want, but when the AC or the heat goes out, you're only calling one person, and that's me. I am Mr. Luciano. I have a special set of skills, and I will find it. I will find you. I will find you, and I will fix it. All right, let's get to it. Let's get in the tank. Let's look for what happened last week. Let's look for these actionable signals. Let's see what's going on. Let's do it. All right, the broader averages. I was looking at the macro list, looking at the broader averages. We are in the tank. We ain't doing battle yet. And when we start looking at actionable signals, then we'll be doing battle. So, right, I got my timer on. Yeah, that's hilarious. Brent's in the house. Brent says I'm stuck at work too. Let's see here. Sandollar says I want to look at CRCL, and for anybody out there, if you're in the live, oops, oh dang it, I did it again. I always do this. Hold on. If you go down to the bottom here, you'll see the super chat. There's some small ones. There's some small ones. There's some big ones. This is like basically a tip jar. If you use a super chat, basically I stop what I'm doing, talk about what you want to talk about. All right, short answer. I'll talk about what you want to talk about. Sandollar wants to talk about CRCL. I got in the Pacey, and the Pacey went scenario 3 on the week on me. Pacey, what the heck? We'll look at that one. CRCL, what is this? This is Circle Internet Group. What is this? This is brand new to the world. This is a baby. This has been alive 2 weeks. You bring me a brand new baby alive 2-week chart. What is this? Sandollar says, keep it up. Thank you so much. Oh man, Sandollar, thank you. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, Miss Bacon's laughing. I love that. This is brand new to the world, 2 weeks old. Hey, you know what? It's a winning position. And you know what? And hey, wow. It went from $66, ended Friday with $133. Somebody knows something. And if you didn't get into this until Friday at 108, it ended at 133. That's pretty good. Wow. They said, get me this, and I want it, and I want it now. If you didn't wait, if you didn't do the, let's say you missed all this, there's still an actionable signal, 212 continuation up, that triggers at 125.36, and you still made money. And there's an inside bar that gives you a place to add. These are 60-minute charts. Wow, they really want this thing. What is this? TikTok timers. Yeah, I gotta have those timers. I talk too long. What is this? What do they do? Well, is there any news on this? This thing's 2 weeks old, brand new to the world. Insider trades. There's a lot of people doing a lot. Look at this. 22 million shares, 600 million shares, 500. That insider says, give me this, give it to me now. Now. Any news on this? What is this? Beach Bum is in the house. It's an IPO. I don't recommend trading IPOs in the first 6 months. Then why'd you bring it up? Anyway, IPO, brand new thing, doing great. It's a Rising Stars Circle. Let's see here. Coral Wave saw a massive rally following its late March debut, and Circle Circle 1, maybe, burst onto the scene last week. It was successful IPO, blast into the highs. All right. This is one to watch. All right. So, Sand Dollar's right. All right. This just started. Everybody's excited. They can run this thing up to $200. Just to say it goes $200. Keep pushing your stops up with the price, because the people that got in this thing, even the people that own this thing, all right, remember these insider traders right here. These insider traders could be like, see, some of this is already happening. All right, some of this is already happening. They got out, they got in. All right, so this guy right here could be like, I made my money, done. And then they dump it, and then he unleashes all his. Thank you so much, Sandal. Thank you. And he unleashes all his. You know, he's already buying and selling. So is Kathy. Kathy's in here buying and selling. These people buying and selling. So it could get to a certain point. Let's just say $200. I'm making that number up, and they go, okay, we made what we wanted. Cut it. And they start selling these massive positions, and then it goes all the way back down to, even if it goes all the way back down to $100. I mean, that's a huge loss for someone that got in way up here. Okay, so be careful. Take that money and run. Take that money and run. And that brings up another point. The crypto traders, people that like to trade crypto, be careful, especially with those new coins, because they will run it up big time, and then they'll be like, we're done, and then they'll sell it all the way down into the dirt. JJ's in the house. What's going on? Better get back to 138 quick, or she will fall. Yeah. Yep. And that's 100% true. Yeah, if they get it up, yep. Boom. You know, so let's see. All right, it could be interesting. Let's look at what's going on in the broader averages really quick. JJ's in the house. Good morning. Thank you for the coffee, Sand Dollar. Still 2-2 continuation up on the month. All right, and we did hit this magnitude here. Looking to see if we can get the 613.19. That's all-time highs. It probably will. Now we need to recognize that there's a shooter on the week. And that's a tiny little candle, all right? Michael Noss has already got on me and some of the other people for talking about this shooter. He's like, all these candles, you talking about this one? All these candles, you talk about this one. Yes, we're talking about this one because it's an actionable signal for us here in the Strat, all right? So yes, we're talking about this one. It goes in force. If it does go in force, it will go in force below 595.42, and the magnitude is 580. 519, and I talked about this last night on the Strat, the weekend shift update with the weekend shift crew. And, you know, so I did talk about this. And if that happens, it'll be getting back into this level of reclaim here. All right. And potentially it can get all the way down to 576. 576, potentially. That'll get back through here. And then this and this is also stuck in all of this. So, I mean, it could, 568. I'm not calling doom and gloom, but we need to know. We need to know that it's a possibility, okay? We need to know. Why? Because JJ was texting me furiously, like, what's going on? Look at the news. Look at the news. And I'm like, hey, I'm watching, what? I'm watching cat videos. What do you want? And I'm watching the news too, and I'm like, oh my goodness, okay? So, the geopolitical stuff is huge right now, all right? We had, don't talk politics too much on the weekend shift at all, really. But yeah, this is getting back into this level of reclaim back here, definitely. But, the attack on Iran, with Israel and Iran is a big deal. We need to know about that stuff, okay? We need to know about it. and because they could dramatically affect all of this. Was it last year? Maybe, yeah, last year. Yes, when Israel and Hamas was that whole conflict started. This I'd have to go back very far, but I mean it was moves like this. All right, it was dramatic moves to the downside. All right, when things like that happen and the market's like we don't know what's happening. We know what's happening, but we don't know what the outcome's going to be, and we don't know when it's going to end. All right, those are two things that drive the VIX up big time. All right, what does the VIX measure? The VIX measures how many puts people are buying to protect their positions. All right, and that if that gets up to $30 and higher, it's bad. All right, the volatility is going to be nuts. Now I know Rob used to say all the time we love volatility. Personally, I don't like all that volatility. Oh, but you can make a lot of money, in 2 hours. It's just got to be, you got to be on it. You got to be on it. All right. It ain't no hold it and see what happens. All right. A Sand Dollar says, I use regular hours for stocks and options. I use extended hours for futures. I use a 12-hour candle and not the day. Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah, he says all those altcoins are bushwhackers. Yes. Happy Flag Day. Yes. Happy Father's Day. Yep. Happy Father's Day. And we will get to the highs. We will get, JJ says we will get high vol on energy. Yes. Energy's moving as well. That if the VIX gets higher than 30, it's a great time to sell premium. Yes, that is true too. And that's from Brent. They've been trading the Strat for a long time, and that's awesome. I love that you guys are in here. So right now, not a lot going on. All right, not a lot going on. Let's move this to what was the start of the week? Sorry. And the week hasn't been that long, right? All right, let's go to the start of the week. June 9th, right here. All right, so here's your 60s for June 9th. And June 9th is about right here. Sorry about this, guys. Can put my learning line on. Let me get rid of this one. Now, QQQ and Dow Jones are pretty much doing the same thing. We'll go through the sectors really quick. But here's your days for the week. And it was 2 up on the week. That's good. Here's your days. All right, and then here's your 60s. And I just got that little pink line up so we can see what bars we're actually looking for. Make it a little bit more visually easier to see. All right. Up and then down. Up and then down. A little bit of country and western action there. Here's your 60s. Not doing a whole bunch, kind of trading sideways, but it did take them up and then dribbling to the downside. Blah, blah, blah. Now, you did see me tweet yesterday about how gaps do not negate the Strat. When the market gaps down, we look for that reversal back up, and it did work. But then any stratter knows that, hey, shooter on the 60s, shooter right at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. That goes in force the very next hour into the lows below $626, gets all the way down to $595. And in this action right here, I want to remind you guys, people that are shorting the market with shares, they have to buy the stock to cover their position, and that's what causes this. All right, a lot of people are talking about this the wrong way. They're like, it's getting all the way down here. I feel like there's going to be a pop. I feel like there's going to be a pop, and then it's going to start going the other way. And look, it's hitting my VWAP, and look, it's hitting this Fibonacci line. You see, I told you guys, like, no. This is people shorten, all right? And then they have to buy the stock to cover their positions, and that's what causes this, because they're buying it, all right? And then other people see that and they start buying. It's a whole mess. It's a mess. Let's see here. Let me finish the broader averages. I'll get through these other things. Dow Jones pretty much just doing the same thing. Possible 2-2 reversal down on the week. QQQ shooter on the week. All right, shooter on the week. That goes in force. If that goes in force, it'll go in force below 525.92. The magnitude's 515. All right. Here's some levels of reclaim back here, and it is in that area. All right, hot mess. Be careful. We just need to know this is the possible. It is in this range. It's in there. And the possibility is it could get all the way back down to 509. So we just need to watch it, all right? And it can keep going lower. We need to watch it. Let's go to multi-view for the rest of it. All right, weekly charts. Let's see here. XLK. Yep, XLK Tech. We got a shooter on the week. So remember that. Tech. XLU. Possible 2-2 reversal backup. This is a defensive name. Utilities. Got to pay that water bill. Got to pay that trash. Go look at. We're gonna look at. Let me write it down. Shoot. WM. Got close, didn't I? Oops. WM, remind me to look at waste management. You got to take that trash out, all right? Waste management. XLE, this is what JJ was talking about, all right? And we did have a 2-2 continuation up, trying to get back up this here, this wall of woe, up above $92.50, all right? We'll see how they want to do that. Labu back to the lows. All right, biotech has not been doing great at all. The administration, they're trying to get rid of pharma completely. So, healthcare doing better. Oh, that's my timer. It says shut up. Get to the next thing. I am. 2-2 reversal back up. Healthcare, and then XRT retail back to the lows. So no buyers in retail. Shooter SMH, shaking my head. All right, shooter on that, and then XLP consumer staples. Remember JJ talking about this on his episode on the weekend shift, and also on the Enforce podcast. XLP. This is a defensive name as well. People start buying toilet paper, toothbrush. Got to buy that Bud Light. Look at this. All right, look at the chart. All right, because they're buying those consumer staples. They need that stuff. Needs. So looking at the overall market, it's not looking great. All right, nothing's really moving to the highs. But XLK shooter. Shaking my head. Shooter. Those are the only actionable signals. And of course, you got these here on the SPY and QQQ. So SPY, QQQ shooters, tech shooter, and semiconductors shooter. So let's get in the tank. Let's look for these actionable signals. Let's do it. All right. This thing is awesome. Now the only thing bad about it is I got a green screen, so this thing is like, looking all fuzzy, but whatever, I'll fix it later. Let's look for these actionable signals. Let's do it. All right, so going to the weekly watch list for the weekend shift. We had 21 signals in here, all right? 21 actionable signals on the weekly watch list for last week. We had about 13, that's more than 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, it is 13. 13 go in force, all right? 13 of them went in force, and we had 13 wins. Let's go through the wins really quick. Sandollar loves it. Let's see here. Costco was a win, all right? Shooter in force to the downside, takes all these guys out, all right? Give me my money. Walmart, win. All right, shooter in force on the week, takes these guys out. Win. American Tower does nothing. All right, does go in force, but doesn't do much. CHTR shooter on the week. We'll leave that on the chart. Remind me that we'll leave that on the chart. Leave that on the chart. CHTR. I'm gonna write that down. CHTR. Keep it on. Keep it on. Shooter on the week. Didn't do much. Did trigger. Didn't hit magnitude though. All right. Ford win. This was a win. Hammer in force on the week. Took out these targets. Wanted to get up here, all right, but it still was good. It came down quick though, all right, in 2 days, all right. And I want to reiterate, if you're trying to get into options and just stick your toe into trading options, Ford is a good way to start. Why? Because it's slow, all right. You don't have to worry about the whiplash, all right. It's going to move slow. FedEx win. All right, 2-2 reversal back up, hits magnitude on the week, win. General Dynamics win on both sides. Went to the lows, took out all these guys, went to the highs, took out all these guys. All right, General Dynamics win. And General Dynamics makes those army trucks. Yes, they make my army trucks. General Dynamics. INTC win. It did go 2-1-2 up, took out these targets, and then came back down quickly. All right. And now you have a shooter on the week. INTC, also keep it on. Remember that. Coca-Cola did nothing. All right. It did trigger and hit the magnitude, but that's some pennies. We ain't worried about no pennies. Leave it alone. Pfizer win, 2-2 reversal back up, took out all these guys. All right, you could still be in that win. So what? It was a winner. All right, took out the lows pretty quick. All right, but then back to the highs. All right, took out both sides. Win. Target was a win. It went 2-2 reversal back up, took out these guys. Didn't get the third target, but if you would kept your stops, you know, moving your stops up, you would have got out, let's just say 101.57. That was a possible 2-2 reversal. That was a 2-2 reversal back down on the 60s, getting you out. Win. That was a win. And JJ, I know you're looking at target. All right, they're trying to get in that thing. They're trying. They want target. XOM win. Look at this. Beautiful. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We like those long red and green bars. All right. Look at that. All right. You get in at 104. The whole thing closes at 112. And guess what? We're not done. We're trying to get to 119. All right. Moving on up. That's what we want to do. All right. Win. That's what we want our trades to look like. Very good. AVGO, still good. I did not count this as a win because we were looking for this shooter to go in force. It did not, but it didn't really keep going either, so nothing. CRM did not go in force. It just, I guess it did go 2 down, but it's not a win. Duke Energy, nothing. All right, crap. So, lows. Win. All right, this was a win. Took out these guys down here for about $3 move. If you trade options, that was good for you. Pepsi, no Coke, Pepsi. All right, did nothing. Snap, win. All right, it did go scenario 3 down, took out these guys, but then was straight back up and took these guys out. So actually took out the highs, then the lows. That's what happened. Messy, but win. All right. Whirlpool, win to the lows. Shooter and force on the week, took out all these guys, win. And then MSTR triggered but didn't do much. So you guys know, all right, out of 21 signals, 13 of them went in force and 13 of them were winners. All right, winners. 13 of the 21 winners. All right, that's 61. That's a 61%. 61%. Now the haters are going to say that, that you got a D. Oh, you got a D on that one. No. You only need to be 55%, you only need to be 51% correct on your trading to be a winner in trading, all right? But you got 61%, so good. That's good stuff. Don't let the haters hate. You know what? Haters gonna hate and potatoes gonna potate. No Coke, Pepsi, hamburger, cheeseburger. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. That's right. That is right. So what we're gonna do is clear this thing and look for these actionable signals. Put in the chat what you guys want to look at, all right? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I'm going to get rid of these guys. Oh, and then good news from TrendSpider. TrendSpider let me know through some emails. You will be getting these updates when I update this live on the show. If you are not seeing the update, all you have to do is click refresh on your side and it will update, all right, for the watch list or the scanners. I'm also working with TrendSpider to get my scanners, my Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner, Hammer Time Scanner, and 2 Up on the Week with VWAP Scanner public on in the TrendSpider store. That will let everybody get in on that thing. All right, everybody use it. That's going to be awesome if that goes through. It, you know, they're looking at it, they're doing some things. We want Intel back in there because it's got a shooter on the week. Save. All right, and then looking at our daily signals. Let's go down to daily signals. If you're in the Strat can, if you're one of the weekend shift crew or Strat warriors, this, you know for a fact this didn't do much. So we're going to go ahead and edit that. We got to leave something in there, or the whole thing on delete, but save. Clear up your lists. Clear them up. All right, so we're looking for tech. Let's go there. Let's go down our monthly watch list, looking for those actionable signals. We already know, but we want to look at tech, and we also know we want to look at semiconductors. All right, Lily. Someone said, "Gimme Lily, gimme Lily for them actionable signals." Lily, no actionable signal for next week, but closer to going 2 up on the month. All right, we're gonna watch this. No actionable signal for next week. Still good though. Looking at this money flow index, they want to be in this. They want to be in this. So if this thing goes to continuation up next week, getting back through this level of reclaim here, what's that mean? All right. That means don't just jump in on 2-2. We went 2-2 up. Go ahead and buy. No. Don't do that. Yes, you do want to try and get the 902.41. What you're going to do is look for a reversal on a smaller time frame, the daily or the 60, to get in on what you're seeing on the week and the month. Right now, Lily, full time frame continuity to the upside. All right. Keep putting them in here. Keep putting them in here. Look at this. Yes, waste management. Yes, I wanted to talk about waste management because I was looking at this thing going, why am I messing around with trading these tech stocks? Look at this, waste management. My goodness. Let's go to the year. Let's go to the quarter just for fun. Quarterly. Wow. Yearly. Wow. Taking out the trash. When your wife tells you to take out the trash and you're getting mad, wow, that's the you problem, because you could be taking out the trash thinking about your wins. Look at this. I'm talking to myself on that one. But look at this thing. What the heck? Trash. Taking out the trash. That's it. To the highs. And they, according to, let's see here, Brent, they says they have a nice dividend. All right. So, but recent months, kind of choppy. All right. Mess around this level of reclaim right here. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying the overall primary trend is to the highs. All right, beautiful. All right, looking for these actionable signals. OKLO, still 2 up on the month. No actionable signal for next week. XLE, 2 up on 2-1. 2-1-2 up on the month. No actionable signal on the week. Apple just getting wrecked. All right, inside on the month, not doing much. And then look at this. This is why we track these levels of reclaim. We want to know this is happening. All right, doing nothing, trading sideways. Yuck. Chevron 2. This is why we're looking at this. All right, 2 212 up, back up on the month, trying to get to 165 up this wall of woe. No actionable signal for next week, but if this thing keeps moving up, look for that reversal on the daily or the 60 to get in on that. Oxy, all right, Oxy 212 up on the month. No actionable signal for next week. XOM, we already talked about that. We'll take that off. Looks good. No actionable signal for next week. Roku. Marlon B was talking about Roku. It is 2 up on the month still, but it's coming in. Let's see what they want to do. Possible 2-2 down. We're looking for hammers or shooters inside bars. Colgate, brush your teeth. We got a shooter on the week. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. All right, Colgate, not looking great. XYZ, possible 2-2 reversal down, but that's not a shooter, inside bar, or a hammer on the week. So we're going to leave it alone for the show. If you want to use that on your watch list, go ahead. Hammer on Lockheed Martin, warheads on their foreheads. Lockheed Martin, warheads on their foreheads. It goes in force above 488.28, all right? And it's going to get back into this level that we're claiming back here at 531. This could be the start of something, all right? The start of something. So we're going to look at that. Wow, Lockheed Martin. Amazing. And still inside month. Devon Energy 312 back up on the month, and 2-2 continuation up on the week. No actionable signal for next week. Garmin 212 up on the month. It's coming back in. All right. Possible 2-2 down on the week. No actionable signal technically. All right. Shooter on the week. Snapchat to the lows. Shooter on the week. Shooter on the week. That's amazing to me that this company is still alive. I know because this way back here, 2021, everybody's using the app, everybody's talking to each other. It's a brand new thing, it's fun. But the problem is, how do we make money on an app where the messages disappear all the time? All right. So they're trying to do everything and anything and everything to put advertising and whatever they can on Snapchat. Right. That's the goal there. But shooter on the week. Pool to the lows. Shooter in force on the month. No actionable signal for next week. AT&T, I was talking about how great it's doing. 2 up on the month, but then it's coming back down on these days in 60s. Shooter on the week for next week. Shooter on the week. I want you guys to know, notice that we're going down the monthly watch list looking for actionable signals, all right? We're going to continue to scan for things that go in force on the month. Why am I doing this? Because I'm not just pouring through charts looking for some random stuff. I'm looking through actionable signals that we know are in force on the month, and then we're looking for things on the week to reconfirm what we're seeing on the month. Palo Alto, inside on the week. All right, still 2 up on the month. Let's see if those buyers want to keep buying above $200.51. $200.26, all right? Target is 208. Information overload is a real thing. That's when you're just like pouring over scans, you're looking for, anything and everything, and you're like spending 6 hours looking at Roblox, looking for a cup and handle, hoping it goes, all right? Not messing with that. Nothing wrong with Roblox. It's moving. I'm just saying. I want to find actionable signals in the sectors, and then also in. I want to sort my stocks by condition and time frame. Okay. We're always gauging participants by price and time. Okay. 312 back up. Conoco, COP. 2-2 continuation up, trying to get back up to 106. No actionable signal here, but you're starting to see all the energy stocks are doing the same thing. I know you're seeing that. I see the chat rolling. Put your tickers in there. FedEx. When we already talked about that, but it's a shooter on the week. Where's my package at, FedEx? Halliburton, no actionable signals, still good though. Hess, no actionable signals, still good though. KMI, energy, see, this is also energy, and it's not doing whatever everybody else is doing. Interesting, right? I wouldn't call that a hammer. We're going to leave it alone. Coke shooter on the week. Coke shooter on the week. They're like, I saw a documentary about sugar, and there's a lot of sugar in Coke. I'm gonna take my money out of that. Coke. Hammer on the week, McDonald's. It's a hot mess in here, okay? So be careful. It's a hot mess in here. Let's go ahead and mark that level of reclaim so you can see it a little better. McBurger's not doing great, all right? Hammer on the week. If that goes in force, it'll go in force above 305.26. The magnitude's 314, and the top of this range is 326. Could be some mother bar problems in there, right?
That's a mother bar issue.
Mother bar problems, so be careful. But it is there, and we're looking for actionable signals, all right? Put that on the weekly watch list. Keep on going, Matt. We're almost done, Matt. Scenario 3, golly, this is bad, all right? 3 threes back to back. They bought them up, they sold it down. They could do it again. They bought it up and sold it down again, all right? So if you bought into this last week, yay. This week, boo. Someone said, AW says, give me Palantir. All right. And I almost said Arizona. Verizon shooter on the week, scenario 3. All right, we'll go to weekly watch list, weekly signals. We got a little bit more to go here, but we'll look at Palantir. PLTR. Palantir, what's it doing? Still good. Now. No actionable signal for next week, AW. I've never seen you in here, so I'm going to assume you're new. What I mean is there's no hammer. There's no shooter. There's no inside bar. Okay? So if you're in this or looking to get into this, maybe we'll get a 2-2 continuation up. Maybe they keep buying it. What you want to do is look for a reversal on the daily or the 60-minute to get in on that. Because what we're doing is we're looking for the month. What are the institutions doing? They are buying Palantir, all right? Government contracts, great product, finally great product, all right? Doing all that good stuff. They're buying it on the month. What are they doing on the week? They buying or selling, all right? Then after we have reconfirmation of, they're buying it on the month, they're still buying it this week on the daily charts. We want to see what the daily is doing with the week. And we want the daily to reconfirm what we're seeing on the week, that they're buying it. And on the 60s, we want to know right now, before I get in, they're buying it now. And I'm getting in with the winners, all right? And I'm riding this wave. So I get in, all right? All the charts reconfirming each other, and we call that full time frame continuity.
Time frame continuity.
Full time frame continuity to the upside, all right? That's what we do. That's what we do here. Someone says, give me a firm. Give me a firm. What's up, Jason? Affirm, AFRM. Affirm. All right, Affirm, shooter on the week. Oh man, 2 up on the month. That's good, but it's shooter on the week. Good call. And shooter on the daily. Let's do this. 2 up on the month. That's not. Let's do 2 up. We'll put that on the 2 up on the month list and the weekly signals list. Shooter on the week. All right. If that goes in force. Let's blow this up for you. If this goes in force below $58.63, the magnitude is $50.66. All right, that's a potential $9 move. Ouch. Affirm. Come on now. What's this thing? I don't know what this blue line was. Okay. It's marking this level of reclaim right here. That's pretty big. Why would I use a line that big? Anyway, it's definitely, if that shooter goes in force, it's getting back into this level of reclaim below $55.57. And again, the bottom of that range is $45.54. All right, so potential big move to the downside for Affirm. Ouch. All right. Ew. Thank you. Very good actionable signals. I have to learn how to draw broadening formations. You can learn how to draw broadening formations. Go to thestratsoldier.com. It's pinned on the chat. Check out the course, Unlocking Broadening Formations. Unlocking Broadening Formations, I show you why we trade them, how we trade them, how to draw them, how to look for them, and then I take it all the way up from the basics to the advanced stuff with levels of reclaim. And the best part about that course is I did it with actual traders. They're asking real traders asking real questions, and one of them is giving me the business. It's funny, boy. I'm like, wow, hold on. Why you got an attitude? Hold on. It's a fun course. It's a fun course. Get in there, watch that thing. Give me some arms. Where's my arms at? I like this one because I don't have to type so much. If you come up with another one, I don't have to type so much. I might just go to yours. I like that. All right, arm shooter on the week. Shooter on the week. Evidently, we were tracking some stuff on this earlier. Shooter on the week. Still 2 up on the month. That's good. We'll put that on the 2 up on the month list. Why? Because when the entire market's going to the highs, I'm going to where the buyers are already at. Okay, go where the buyers are already at. But arm shooter on the week, that goes in force at 134.66, back in this level of reclaim right here. But for a potential, I got to turn these on for you to show you this, but it's a potential 2-bar rev strat to the downside. All right, what's a rev strat? A rev strat is either a 1-3, which is that right here, scenario 1-3. All right, that's a 1-bar rev strat. This is a potential 2-bar rev strat. It would be inside bar, 2 up, and then 2 down. Inside bar, 2 up, 2 down. All right, now in technical analysis, they would call that a failed breakout. In that, it's going back now. We call that 2-bar rev strat. All right, 2-bar rev strat. Your actionable signal is that shooter. All right. Potential all the way back down to 123.36. Now, we don't get in early. We wait for that thing to go in force. We'll put that on the list. Put that on the watch list. We got a lot of good signals so far. Very good. Someone give me, JJ said, nice. Someone said ASTS. You got to watch JJ. He's hilarious. ASTS. JJ's watching. You got to watch these episodes because JJ wrecked my Tesla trade. He ain't wreck it. It's not his fault. But boy, I about dang near cried right on the camera. Talk about Tesla so bad. And then the worst thing is it happened. It did exactly what he said it was going to do. ASTS, this is Space Mobile. This is the ability to talk to, we actually had someone else talk about this, and they talked about getting in. We have this marked at $2.95. I don't advocate trading penny stocks, but it was doing something wild, all right? It was doing something crazy. Oops, wrong one. Trying to move me. There you go. All right, it was doing something crazy. You can see that right there at 295 and to the highs. All right, craziness. 295, amazing. All right, so Space Mobile is exactly what it sounds like. It is you having the ability to call grandma from space. So there will be 0 dropped calls. They say fewer dropped calls. Evidently, legally, they can't say none. But 0 dropped calls, and then so you can call your grandma from space. Bam, to the 2-2 reversal, back up at 225.54, back up to 41, and then closes out the week at 38. So that's awesome. That's really good. Messiness here. Ooh. Since we're talking about broadening formations, let's turn that off. Let's draw broadening formation on this thing so we can show you how this is a mess. Messy mess. If you're using Trend Spider, just using the if you're using Trend Spider, using the Trend Spider tool is effective. If you're using Trading View, use the extended line tool. All right, it'll give you this laser looking type, trend line. If you use just the trend line tool, it'll give you like this short little bitty. Don't want no short trend line tool. Anyway, all right, so this point is just a little higher than this point. So what you want to do is drive from right to left, reset highs, back to another high, reset or a higher low, and then same thing down here. All right, so here's the broadening formation on AST Space Mobile, and you can see how this was just a mess. All right, mess. Where's Matt?
Shop in here, folks.
All right, just a mess. But then finally, back to the highs and out of this mess. So good. No actionable signal for next week, but hey, it's doing great. We'll put that on the 2 up on the month list. Did I already say that? I don't think I did. 2 up on the month. It could be great. All right, we could be calling. Everybody could be calling their grandma from space. Let's see. We need to continue down. AMD. Ooh, automatic money destroyer. I like this. I don't have to type so much. Jason's winning. He's kicking y'all butt so far. Here's the broadening formation for the month on AMD. Not doing a lot. It is 2 up on the month still. You cannot call this a shooter yet because the month's not over. All right, and then looking at your weeks. I need to redraw this. It's a mess here. I need to redraw this. Actually, looks like we have a lot of broadening formations on this thing. All right, it's a mess. I got to redraw those. Shooter on the week on AMD. And that will go in force below 114.43. And the magnitude is 115.03, the magnitude's 110, and then you continue dropping from there. It is in this level of reclaim right here, and that is right there. All right, so we'll see what they want to do. Automatic money destroyer, that's what I call AMD. 2 up on the month, but shooter on the week. So let's go ahead and annotate that. 2 up on the month, but shooter on the week. Let's go back to, it says, okay, thanks. Is it best to just catch reversals at the top of the bottom of the broadening formations? That's the idea, yes. Reversals, just make sure you're trading reversals. Just because it gets to the top of the broadening formation doesn't mean automatically just start selling, or automatically it gets to the bottom, automatically start buying. That's not what that means. Look for those actionable signals to reconfirm that stuff, okay? All right, look for those actionable signals, hammer, shooter, inside bars. All right, let's finish this list here. MSTR, looking for this thing to go shooter in force on the month, hasn't done it yet. AIG, I would not call that a hammer, but it's all stuck in this scenario 3 back here, trying to get to $87. AIZ, 2-2 reversal back down on the week. Reconfirm what we're seeing in the month that they're selling this thing. AMG in full time frame continuity to the upside. It is hammer in force. The magnitude on this thing is 315. The best thing about time frame continuity is this signal is good all month. All right, you did not miss it. It's good all month, because I know some people are looking at this going, it's too overbought. Look at this. There's a shooter on the day. It's gonna go down. I mean, it could go down for a little bit, but this is still good all month. All right, the winning spirit is built into the Strat. We don't just look at this thing going, oh, we missed it. Oh, we missed the move. No, we say, oh, this thing's in force right now. Let me find a reversal into this mug. That's what we say. AON scenario 2 up on the month, but then no, it's red. All right, no actionable signals, nastiness. APD shooter on the week here, and 212 up on the month. That's why we're looking at that, but it's coming in. Shooter on the week. DG, 2 up on the month, inside on the week, all right? Dollar General, inside on the week. It had a good run. Maybe it's done. We'll see. And tap, possible 2-2 reversal back down, but that's not a shooter. So if you want to use that, put that on your list. That's fine. PEG 312 up on the month, still green, possible 2-2 up. It's got to go 2-2 up to save this thing. So, but no actionable signal for next week. All right, so you see how we did that. Now Let's go to the Strat. We're in overtime right now. Overtime. So we're gonna go to. Come on now. We're gonna go to the Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner. Let's change this to the week. The week, and then we're gonna look for. What do we want? Let's go inside bar. No, wait, hold on. I'm thinking. Shooter on the tech. That's right, it was. Shooting star on tech. It's right here, shooting star. All right, also known as a shooter. All right, shooting star, and then right here, search in. And you can actually make this, you can have this thing search your watch lists or the bigger, indexes. All right, so we know there's a shooter on tech. Let's go on tech. Let's have it scan. There's all our, all right, let's move my big head here. All right, here's all the ones with shooters on the week. Very easy, right? Very easy. Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner, easy to use, all right? So let's go here. And things that we like, we're going to put it on the list as well. Shooter on the week. Golly, what is happening on this chart? Hold on. We were tracking all kind of junk. All right, that's better. ADI, 2 up on the month. Let's make sure that's on the 2 up on the month list. It should be 2 up on the month list and shooter on the week. All right, if that goes in force below 223.19, the magnitude's 212. All right. And there's your broadening formation. We know they take them up, they test the highs, test the lows, test the highs. Can't get back up here. They're going to try and test the lows, all right? Potentially. We'll see. Put that on the watch list. I like that one. AMAT, shooter on the week. Inside on the month still. There's buyers in here. That doesn't mean it's really going to go. But that thing goes in force below 167.86 and the magnitude's 155. That's pretty good. That's some pretty good magnitude. Weekly signals, bam. All right. INTC, that's already on the list. Shooter on the week. LRCX, shooter on the week. All right. I wouldn't really call that a shooter, but it's on the list. All right. That goes in force below $86.78. The magnitude's $80. That's not a shooter. All right. That's more than likely going to open up inside bar. That's why running these scans and then actually looking at the charts is very beneficial. You can't just go, oh, I ran the scans, put them on the list, and then shut your laptop. All right. Microchip. Shooter on the week. Goes in force below $65.52. The magnitude is $57.55. Wow, they might be done with this one. That's a big shooter. All right, we'll see. NVIDIA, possible 2-2 down on the week, but I would not call that a shooter. QCOM, that's definitely a shooter. That's a nice one. What's happening here? All right, that's better. Shooter on the week. Still 2 up. It's green on the month, but shooter on the week at 151.11. The magnitude's 144. All right. Very good. QRVO, Cuervo, shooter on the week. Goes in force below $79.24. Trying to get to 79. Let me slow down. Shooter on the week at $79.24. The magnitude's, I did it again. There's a lot of numbers. All right, shooter goes in force below 79.24. The magnitude is 7493. That's exactly how we deal with that in the military, boy. I tell you what. Oh, you got a stuttering problem. Okay, just give me the digits, Private. Come on, just give me the digits. All right, Texas Instruments. It is 2 up on the month. Let's make sure it's on the 2 up on the month list. 2 up on the month. Beautiful. But we got a shooter on the week. Shooter on the week goes in force below 193.34, and the magnitude's 181.65. Signals, all right, and then XRX, Xerox, used to be a big thing. Go talk to JJ about train Xerox was a big deal. back in the day. Shooter on the week, still just going to the lows. If it gets below $5, that's a penny stock. Let's see what they want to do there. I don't know. JJ, you got an opinion about that? Let's see if you got one. Put it in the chat. Okay, AW says, I really want to learn the Strat. I just get so discouraged when I see other traders saying the Strat doesn't work. I need it to work for me. All right, yeah. No, it does work. The Strat does work, and I got a lot of proof of my own and other people that the Strat does work. Now there are people that are making huge trades. All right, I'm talking about, go see Ace. Ace is a guy that's making, he's making those $2,000 wins. I mean, higher. All right, he's great, but I'm here to show you, number one, how to trade without losing your real life. All right, I'm teaching you how not to lose all your money. I'm teaching you how to not just be stuck on the screens all the time. All right, we're showing you how to create winning positions, add to them, and defend them with tight stops. Go to thestratsoldier.com. Check out the ebooks. First of all, go check out Hammer in Force. That'll teach you all about hammers. That comes with a bonus vid, and then there's more content there for you. Okay, and then just watch my videos here on the Weekend Shift as well. All right, and then the Strat Camp community on the stratsoldier.com. Ask your questions. I will answer them. Okay, I'll answer them. Yes, the Strat does work. It does work. I get frustrated too when people talk like that. All right. Because it does. All right. JJ says, I'm looking. Xerox. I was telling them about, I was talking about how you said Xerox was a thing, boy. Like trading Xerox was the jam. Look at this thing. And now it's like, dang. What it rhymes with, I already said. I said I ain't gonna say no wordy dirts on the show, but it was the jam. Now it's like, dang. I'm in overtime. I got 5 more minutes. This potentially is going to be a penny stock if that shooter goes in force. That's what I was talking about, JJ. If that shooter goes in force on the week, it's going to be a penny stock. He says, give me some crude. Crude yesterday to the highs. All right, to the highs. 312 back up on the month, back to this level of reclaim. All right, money flow index says they want to be in here. Crude back to the highs. All right, why not says the Strat definitely works, just taking me a long time to master it because I'm done. All right, I gotta read it. He says Strat definitely takes a long time. He says the Strat definitely works, just taking me a long time mastering it because I'm dumb. Learned complex options, but the Strat still eludes me. LOL. Yeah, that's so funny. Yes, the Strat does work, and the Strat was originally created to trade shares. All right, it was originally created so you could trade shares. But it also trades with anything else that trades, right? It works with anything else that trades. So when it comes to options, yeah, you might have to play the game just a little different, all right? But it's still the Strat. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, JJ says it was like northwest air, all right, just to the highs, all right? The Strat does work, and Why Not's been doing it for a while, all right? The hardest part about learning the Strat is cutting out your old bad habits. That's the hardest part about trading the Strat, is cutting those bad habits. Let's get out of this tank. It is hot in this tank. Let me get out of this thing. Hold on a second. What's going on? Wow. It is hot in that tank. All right. Thank you so much. He says, why not? Says, I use my limited knowledge of the strat on my current strategies, and it helps a lot. Fantastic. That is so funny. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Go to thestratsoldier.com. I learned the strat working with Rob Smith, the creator of the strat. I worked with him live, and that was before COVID. 2019, I worked with Rob, and then in that I met JJ, and I also met these guys in real life. All right, and I learned the strat, and I stuck to the strat. Now, a lot of people start with the strat and they go do something else. That's fine. If you're a brand new trader, I suggest learning the strat first. That way you don't have all these bad habits of averaging down on losing positions, or trying some really difficult trading strategies, trying to make things work, or all these indicators on your charts. All right, so I suggest learning it first so you don't learn all those bad habits. All right, it takes a that's the hardest part about learning the strat, is getting rid of your bad habits. All right, JJ's in the chat working this thing. He says XRX shooter down to the lows. All right, down to nothing. AW says, where's Dee these days? Not sure. I did see she's still on YouTube, but I personally have not talked to her in a while. Maybe I'll hit her up. Go to thestratsoldier.com. Go check out the ebook, Hammer in Force. Go check out the ebook Hammer in Force. That's one actionable signal that'll get you, that you can trade on anything that trades. All right, you could trade it on equities, you could trade it on forex, you could trade it on crypto, you could trade it with options. All right, hammers. All right, hammers. Hammer in Force. That's my favorite. That's my favorite actionable signal. All right, and the hammer. And if it goes in force, I know what to do, and I know where the entries at, and I know where to put my stop at. All right, I will always trade a hammer. And then there's a one-on-one session in there right now for June 19th. Get in there. There's only one slot for Thursday. Get in there. And then for the combat load, check out combat load. It's everything on the website all in one bundle. And then when I come out with new products, that gets put in the bundle, and essentially you get that new product for free. And then that comes for everybody else who's got that combat load bundle. It has a one-on-one session included in that bundle. So get with me, all right? Let me know. I like to do those one-on-one sessions on Thursdays. Let me know. Let's schedule it, all right? Let's get that. Use that one-on-one, all right? Use it. And then you can also hit view all products, and it'll show you all the courses, and you can hit those things individually. Maybe you only need help with execution. Maybe you only need help with time frame continuity. Maybe you only need help with broadening formations. All right, it's all in there, broken out for you as well. Go check out thestratsoldier.com. Check it out. And Beach Bum's in the house. The Beach Bum says, thank you so much for being here. Good luck, fellow traders. Have a great rest of your week. Yes, and remember, I don't just trade the strat, I live it. If you are, don't get triangled out on your personal relationships. All right, if you need to go make a phone call, you need to visit, you need to do something, do it. All right. Don't get triangled out. It's okay to be inside bar, all right? Even if a scenario 3 happens, you're just like, okay, that was dramatic. We can get it working back to the other side. We can do some things, all right? Let me apologize first. There's nothing wrong with that. So again, here on the weekend shift, I show you how to trade stocks. I teach how to trade anything, but just mainly stocks, common shares, so that you don't, in a way that you don't lose your real life. All right, meaning you're not going to lose all your money. And then number 2, you're not just stuck on the charts. All right, there's a lot of people losing their lives, not going outside, not making friends and meeting with family because they're just glued on the charts. They're just like, well, I just got to keep looking for another move. Sometimes there ain't nothing going on. And we know those days, and we do nothing. Go. maybe inside on the week, inside on the day on SPY. Maybe today's the day I'm gonna go try and teach my cat to mind me, and I'm gonna take my cat for a walk on this leash. It's either gonna kill me or the cat. No, don't kill your cat. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm being silly here. My life is upside. Upside. Machine gun, pivot machine gun. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, being in here. Again, go check out the Strat Camp community. Ask me your questions. Get in there. Go to the Strat Soldier Weekend Shift YouTube. You guys are on it right now. But go to the membership section. There's the Weekend Shift Warrior. There's the Weekend Shift crew where you'll get updates every day of what's happening on the watch list, and I'll help you create a daily watch list for the next day. And then also there's also the next level, which is the Strat Warrior. Strat Warrior comes with macro vids, and then also coaching sessions, all right? And anything else you want in there too. If you want it, like, hey, I need to jump on and ask you some questions, let's do it, all right? Let me know. Anyway, this is the Strat Soldier for the Weekend Shift. We're in overtime. You guys have a good day. Finish your lists, and then close your laptops, and then go have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.